Yo. Good morning, man. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is January the 15th. A bunch of games on the board for today, man. We'll get into a quick recap as we always do. The show gonna be a little different today, though. I'm going through the slate pretty quickly. It's a bunch of games on the board. It's a bunch of injury information. I'm not gonna waste you guys' time with the games that I don't have a strong look or a strong feel for. I'll share notes, but probably won't go through a few of the games. They're just going to be like skip overs, just because we have no idea what's going on as far as injury report. A bunch of teams on the second leg of back-to-back. So um, also want to address the audio stuff. So I was having technical difficulties this morning for whatever reason. My mic isn't like working the right way. So if I sound a little different, that's the only reason why. I'll troubleshoot it when I get done with the show. So bear with me there, but let me know if you guys can hear me. The other thing I want to address real quick is the background music. So it's always interesting that, I do a live show. I do my show live every single morning, and most people never say anything about the background music, about it being too loud, about not liking it, about it being terrible. But then people come back after the show and they say, man, the background music is terrible or it's too loud. I listen to the show back all the time because I got to go in and make the chapters for the show. And I never think that it's too loud. So I'm thinking that people don't like it. Like they don't like the music that's in the background. Maybe they don't like the beat that they're listening to. And I could care less about that part because I like the beat. I do the show the way I want to do the show. So if the people that are in the comment section that wake up and handicap the games with me and that listen on a daily basis and not complaining about it, I'm not changing it. Like I'm gonna stick to who I am and what I like to do and present the information in the way that I want to. So I wanted to kind of put that in the comment section as well. If you hear the background music and you're watching the show live and it's too loud or whatever the case might be, let me know and I'll turn it down, but I'm not changing that up. So just so people, I wanted to address that because people have been talking about that for the last couple of weeks. Let's get into a quick recap. So yesterday I had 3 official plays, and boy did they look terrible. I took the Cavs. We got there early on the Cavs and the Pacers under 237. Didn't matter. They still ended up scoring 244. No defense for the Pacers. First defense in the NBA went back to the last defense in the NBA. Gave up 100 points through 3 quarters yesterday. So that was a loser. A really just gut-wrenching loss, the way that they played defense against the Cavs yesterday, especially without Halliburton. And then the Cavs don't play defense either. So neither here nor there. The Bulls and the Pelicans, the Bulls just do exactly what I need them not to do every single time I bet on them in any form or fashion. So done with the Bulls games, didn't even look at Atlanta and Chicago today. If I need the Bulls not to score, like I did on Sunday, they score 119 points against the Kings, and then last night they can't make a 3. They shoot 30% from the 3-point line. I think the Pelicans shoot 28% from the 3-point line, and I missed that over. I think we got it at 234.5. I missed it by 2 or 3 points last night. So those were the 2 losses. The winner was an easy one. I gave it out on the show yesterday. I had actually put it in right before the show, and that was the Brooklyn Nets and the Portland Trail Blazers to go up and over the total of 217. I think they finished with like 250 points last night. So that was an easy winner with D'Lo and Cam coming back. Kind of felt like those guys were going to play. So 1 and 2 night for myself, needing to do a little bit better. Only got 2 bets open right now. And honestly, it's a big card. I don't love it. I really don't love it. It's a bunch of games. I spent a lot of time on these games. Don't love anything though. So let's go through a couple comments and then we'll get into it for today, man. Like I said, not going to waste your time with these games that I absolutely don't know who's playing and that, I just don't have a lot of information on. So let's see what we got in the comment section this morning. Good morning, Kenneth. Says, let's have a profitable day. GLB Bets in here with us. Says, good morning, Chris and team. What's up, GLB Bets? Good morning, Taylor. He says, still waiting on Killer Sports to update all the NBA lines. Yeah, it's a quick turnaround, GLB Bets. I know we was talking about it in the Discord last night. A lot of teams that played yesterday are playing again today. A couple of them I want to fade. Frankie says, had a horrible night last night, even worse morning. Hopefully it's only up from here. Yeah, I hope things get better for you, bro. Definitely hope that. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Peasy in the chat. Hude, good morning to you. What up, BJ? Says Mavs let one man beat him last night. Horrible. Yeah, Jamal Murray looked like a man on a mission last night. Good morning, Julio. Appreciate you for being here. Good morning, Bookie. My opinion, not yours. Good morning, bro. So let's get to the cash today. Kenneth says he loves the background music. I appreciate that. Julio says nothing wrong with the soundtrack. it's I learned this out real early in life. You're never gonna be able to please everybody. You're never gonna be able to please everybody, man. Justin says the music is the vibe. So yeah, if you don't like the music, don't come. Like it's plenty of YouTube shows you can watch. Or I don't know what you could do. Like I'm gonna give you the information on the game. So whatever. Like appreciate y'all for sure though, man. Appreciate everybody in the comment section. What's up to my guy Mark? What up, She? Lingowick in here with us as well. All right, let's get into it for today, man. Let's jump into it. What up, Smokey Steam? Says your Lakers owe me. Don't bet on the Lakers, bro. Don't bet on the Lakers, man. Good morning, Nayeli. Always rocking. She says morning. The only cash I got was from the Nuggets and Nets. I'm glad you cashed on the Nets last night. It was They were the right side last night for sure, especially coming off that overtime loss. So let's get into it, man. First up, we got jaXon, as we always do. jaXon is your AI sports betting buddy. Save yourself tons of time and research by letting jaXon do the work for you, whether you're trying to look at player props or size or totals, whatever it is that you're looking for, man. jaXon can just kind of compute whatever it is that you are looking for and kind of spit it out. You're looking at Trae Young assist today, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. You can ask jaXon why Trae Young assist is a good or a bad bet for tonight, and how would jaXon play Trae Young's assist. So there's a coupon code for the usual, which I know already. It's a coupon code in the description of the video that'll get you 50% off of whatever tier it is that you select. So check out jaXon today. I asked jaXon about the total. I'm interested. So I'm gonna say this too. I went 1 and 2 last night. All my plays were on totals. I did get a little bit of money with OKC last night. I didn't send it out because the line was moving, so I'm not gonna count that as an official play. But OKC took care of us last night, like they always do against the Philadelphia 76ers, without their big three. But I'm about to I think I'm going on a totals purge for the next week, man. I don't think I'm gonna look at too many totals, but this one kind of caught my eye. Not sure if I'm gonna play it, but I wanted to see if jaXon aligns with me. So we're going to the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors game, one of the first games on the board today. I asked jaXon about the total specifically, over or under based on advanced metrics. jaXon makes me a nice little table with both of the teams, their average score, their average points allowed, their combined average totals, and the percentage of games that go up and over the number that's 230 today. So it says the Celtics and Raptors combined for an average of 229.8 points per game, just under the total of 230. The Celtics have gone over 230 in only 43.6% of their games, while the Raptors have gone over in 52.5% of their games. So you got some recent trends. The Celtics allowing just under 109 points per game, ranking 6th in defensive efficiency. They're coming off a dominant 125 to 71 win over the Raptors in their last meeting on December the 31st, where the total was set at under 230. Boston's games have been even slightly between overs and unders in their last 10, evenly split between over and under. So they're 5-5 against the number, 5-5 to the over under. And then on the Raptors side, the Raptors, they struggled defensively, allowing 118.9 points per game, which is 27th in the NBA. Their offense has been inconsistent, averaging just 111 points per game. Their last 10 games have been evenly split between over and under. So they're both teams are 5-5 against the over under. Pace of play, Pacers play at a moderate pace, while the Raptors play slightly below average in possessions per game. This can limit the total scoring opportunities. You got 3-point shooting. Boston is elite from behind the arc, averaging 17.9 made threes per game, first in the NBA, while Toronto struggles at just 11.6 made threes per game, 29th in the NBA. If Boston gets hot from deep, it could push the total a little bit higher. So you got defensive matchups. Boston's defense is strong, particularly against weaker offenses like Toronto's. The Celtics rank 6th in points allowed, which could suppress Toronto's scoring. And then injuries, it looks like nobody on them. It says both teams appear to have no key players available, to have all their key players available with no major injuries reported. But quickly is out. We'll talk about a little bit about that. So prediction, 120 to 108 is the projected final score that jaXon has for this game, which is under the 230. So lean under. Boston's strong defense and Toronto's offensive struggles might make this under more appealing. Additionally, the Celtics' ability to control the pace and limit scoring opportunities for the Raptors could keep the total below the line. And then if you're looking to bet, you can get the under 230 at Caesar. So I kind of am in agreement with that. Like I said, I'm staying far away from totals. I've been on the wrong side. As soon as I take it over, it goes under. As soon as I go under, it goes over. So we'll probably put the totals in the back pocket. I got a couple spread picks for you guys today, but that is jaXon. So as you can see, I made these lines yesterday. I didn't even put a line up because I didn't even know what the game was going to be. And this is one of the ones that I'm not gonna talk too much about, man. Let's see. I'll give you guys the numbers, but no idea what's gonna happen in this game. Real quick, what I had in my notes: you got Cat listed as questionable for the Knicks. That's what makes it an easy pass. If you didn't watch the game against Detroit, he really did hurt his hand. Like that hand is really hurting. He was grimacing, kind of holding it, re-injured it, got it wrapped up at halftime, re-injured it in the third quarter. No idea if he's gonna play. And then for the Sixers, who knows who's going to play? Yesterday, we saw Embiid already ruled out. PG and Kawhi ended up getting ruled. PG and Tyrese Maxey also being downgraded and end up not playing. Not sure if they're going to play today. Like, this is an easy skip for me, in my opinion here. Knicks did beat the 76ers earlier this season, 111-99 as a 3.5-point home favorite. Playoff revenge for Philly, if that's even a thing. And the Knicks have been kind of seesawing back and forth. 1 day's rest, first road game after 5 straight home games, only 5-5 straight up and 6-4 against the spread in their last game. They're coming off a 5-point loss to the Detroit Pistons. They got the Timberwolves on deck, so big game for Karl-Anthony Towns coming up with the Timberwolves coming into Madison Square Garden. Also, third game in 4 nights and 4th and 6th for the Knicks. So that's what I had in my notes. No way I'm betting this game. Who knows? Like, who knows who's even playing in this game? So not looking at this game at all. That's the only thing that I have, and I'm just sharing that with you guys. That's all I got on this one. Let's see if anybody got thoughts. I'm not expecting people to have too many thoughts on this one. What's up, Jose? Appreciate you for tapping in. Follow says, I think the Sixers are a full go. They love doing this, fading one game and then playing the entire lineup next. Best of luck, man. No idea what's gonna happen in that game. Not touching this game with the injury report the way it is. Like I said, not gonna waste y'all time on these, man. Next one we got up is the Celtics and the Raptors. So these lines have moved a little bit. You got the Celtics laying 13.5 now, so they have been pushed to a 13.5-point favorite. Money really coming in on them, and the total has been driven up from 229 up to 230. So updating that on the screen, this is a game like I kind of talked about. I was interested kind of looking at the under. And it's more so predicated on Quickly, in my opinion. With Quickly being back, they're going to play at a faster pace. The Toronto Raptors, of course. And without them, they're going to play a lot slower. They also struggle to score the basketball. jaXon just kind of gave you guys the numbers. This is not a good three-point shooting team. When I was looking into the advanced numbers last night, one of the things that really stood out to me was that Boston over the last couple games have really been struggling to score the basketball. Their offensive efficiency is not what we typically know Boston to be offensively. In there, just over the course of the season. So to give you guys some numbers to put with that, let me just bring this up on my spreadsheet. So Boston last 5 games, they're actually 24th in scoring. They're averaging just 107 points per game. This is a Boston team that averages 118 on the full season. Offensive efficiency, full season, they're 8th. Last 5 games, they're 18th. So I'm expecting Boston to bounce back in a really big way. They've been struggling to shoot the basketball from the 3-point line. Last 5 games, this is crazy. Last 5 games, they're the worst 3-point shooting team in the NBA. They're shooting 27% from the 3-point line. No other team is shooting the ball worse. You know why that's so great? Because they're going to continue to shoot them. They're stubborn. That's the way they play basketball. They're shooting the 4th most still, even though they're shooting the worst percentage over the last 5 games. You get the best defense in the world. The Toronto Raptors cannot guard the 3-point line. They're 29th. Over the last 5 games, guarding the 3-point line, opponents are shooting 43.5%. So Boston should have a major advantage there. And like I said, I don't think Toronto is going to be able to keep up. Their defense is not, their 3-point defense is not great at all. I think Boston should be able to score the basketball. Toronto has played the strongest strength of schedule over the last 5 games. Boston is also 6th in strength of schedule. So not laying this big of a number with Boston. They did beat Toronto, I think, by 54 points on New Year's Eve. So Toronto may have some revenge on their mind. Without Quickly, though, I just don't think they got enough offense, in my opinion. I would be looking at Boston team total to go over, potentially Toronto team total to go under, which I know equals the spread, but I'm not getting there laying this big of a number with the Boston Celtics. I do think their offense comes to play in this spot, though, especially being that they only beat the Pelicans by 1 point, and that was a bounce back spot for them. So Toronto, not a lot of wins. I think they won 5, 6, 7 games this season. They just beat the Golden State Warriors the other day. Not looking towards them. They're only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games as well. So those are my thoughts on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this, if anything at all. We'll keep it moving. He could get more usage tonight, Josh Hart. So let me go ahead and get the short list out. My homeboy Sal was texting me about Josh Hart the other day before they played Detroit, and said he was taking his rebounds plus assists because it keeps cashing. And if Karl-Anthony Towns does not play, Josh Hart in some form or way, maybe rebounds and assists, could definitely be a look. I like this a lot, Andrew. Kenneth says he likes Hart's rebounds as well. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Let's see. Sean says pass right there with you. LJ says Tatum's averaging 34, 9, and 8 on the road versus the East the last 6 games. Okay, yeah, I can see Tatum having a big one, but my guy Justin talk about this all the time, man. No double digits. Don't bet player props on double digit spreads. And matter of fact, on New Year's Day, I did it. Day before New Year's, I bet Tatum rebounds at over 9.5, and he didn't play the fourth quarter because they beat Toronto so bad in the third quarter. I think they won the third quarter by 30 points. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, and my rebound prop went to die. Lee says, man, you gotta bet these games last minute with how bad the injury report is. And if you've been watching the show, if you follow me on Twitter, I say that a lot. When the guy came in yesterday, said, Chris, you always be talking, you don't make no plays, because you need the information before you can make the plays, man. I'm very, very thorough, as most people know, and I don't feel the need to force bets either. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. What up to my guy Brian? He says he's on the opposite side. He likes the Raptors plus 13, Orlando plus 6, and Houston on the money line. We're gonna get into those games. Justin says he put the Celtics minus 13 in his pocket. The bookie says Raptors plus 13.5. Okay, so some conflicting stuff here. Taylor says, what about Brown under? So Jaylen Brown under with Porzingis and Tatum and White in the lineup. He's under in 8 of his 10, averaging 19.7 and only 17.5 field goal attempts compared to 19.5 field goal attempts when Porzingis is out of the lineup. With 18 or less field goal attempts, he's under in 10 of his 13 games. I'll look a little bit deeper, Taylor, because I do like your breakdowns. I'll look into the head-to-head matchup. I mean, this makes a lot of sense. Somebody got to go under for the Celtics. Everybody not going to get to the numbers. I was kind of thinking that this could be the bounce-back Derek White game. I just talked about how Toronto struggles to guard the three-point line. Derek White got sick in that game in Denver a couple games ago, and then he's gone under in back-to-back games. Derek White's been terrible last couple games. So getting over the illness, you get a great matchup today. Like, you're not going to get a better matchup for Derek White. He should probably go nuclear. The problem is the Celtics, everybody on the team can shoot threes, and I expect a couple guys to break out of the slump. So Jaylen Brown points under is something I'll look a little bit deeper into. Appreciate this look, Taylor. Nayeli says, I think that the Celtics know themselves and they really want to save themselves for the playoffs and win back-to-back. That's why they're seeing them not covering the spreads until absolutely needed. And Nayeli, we tracking on the same sheet of paper here. I agree. Celtics know what the big prize is. They absolutely know. I don't think that they were ready for the Pelicans the other day, though. Like that felt like a bounce back spot after losing to Sacramento, and they did not look great in that game. But it was their shooting specifically, and then the Pelicans got hot from the 3-point line, which I don't see Toronto getting hot from the 3-point line tonight. Christian says Porzingis rebounds and assists over 8.5 for him. Brem says, what about Peyton Pritchard points? I would only be looking towards Peyton Pritchard. Could be a nice bounce back spot for him. What up to my guy dropping dimes in the chat? Merrill says he likes Scotty Barnes rebounds in this spot. Julio says no reason to money line a minus 13.5 spread. Who does that? Some people do that, man. I don't bet on it. I try not to throw shade at how anybody bets, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Nally says Celtics are underplaying on purpose, I think, until later, and we start to see the real defending champs. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Jamal Murray, his post-game interview last night. He talked about, having lows throughout the season, how it's a long season. It's about getting hot at the right time. We'll see. Andrew says Derek White, steals and blocks has been a nice prop too. Dude is a defensive menace. And I can see, he is an absolute defensive menace. Don't do that, Ricky. Don't do that, man. Let's go to the next game. Too much time on this one. Magic and Bucks line open 6.5 yesterday. We were talking about this in the Discord. It's come down to 6. It's down to 5.5 on a couple books as well. The total I got listed at 212. That's also come down to 2. It looks like 210.5 is the consensus in this game. And this is another one where, man, like, I'm not sure like how the Milwaukee Bucks are going to manage the injury report. So just real quick, we know the Bucks on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got a nice bounce-back win last night against the Sacramento Kings. Chris Middleton did not play last night. He's listed as game-time decision. He was only ruled out for injury management, so he could potentially return. Gary Trent Jr. also missed the game last night. It was a hip injury for him. Not sure if he's going to play or not. And then on the Orlando side, I really wanted to get there with Orlando taking the points last night. I did not play it just because of the injury report. We were talking about this in the Discord. You got KCP, truly listed as questionable. You got, who else was it? Gogo Batadze, truly listed as questionable. We know that they're already without Franz. They're already without Mo, already without Jalen Suggs. Like, on the road as a dog, the Orlando Magic not the same team. So I kind of stayed off of this one. It does feel like Orlando spot. They do have the rest advantage. They do have the revenge, or of course the Milwaukee Bucks just went into Orlando and beat them by 3 points. Orlando has played Milwaukee really, really tough though. Let's see, what did I put in my notes? Orlando, so looking for quick revenge, lost 109 to 106 on Friday. Game finished at 211.5, and they go over. Bucks have won the head-to-head matchup both times this season. They beat them in the Cup game earlier before the last game, but haven't covered either of the spreads. Orlando has covered 3 straight spreads in 5 of the last 6 against the Milwaukee Bucks. So Orlando typically plays Milwaukee really, really tough. Something I read early this morning that was kind of intrigued me a lot was a quote by Giannis, and then Dame actually followed up the quote, and they were talking about like just playing with a sense of urgency and a sense of consistency, and that's what we haven't seen from the Milwaukee Bucks. They're fourth, I think, in the Eastern Conference, but they don't bring it on a nightly basis. Like the Bucks can really turn it off. You see the effort just not there, them not being able to rebound the basketball, and that's what you need because Orlando's going to bring it every single night. So with a short spread like 5.5, 6. And Orlando having, all the guys on the injury report that I'm not sure of, this is an easy pass for me as well, man. I can't quite get there. I think the Bucks can bring it back-to-back nights. If they play like they played against Sacramento last night, they'll smoke the Orlando Magic, especially with the Orlando Magic being, so injury-prone. And KCP and Gogo Batadze, even getting Paolo back. But those are 2 big pieces, in my opinion. Jalen Suggs is another big piece. So I stayed off of this one, even though Orlando does have the rest advantage. Milwaukee just 1-5 against the spread on the second leg of back-to-backs. The only cover that they have came against the Wizards. Also 4-2 to the under as well. So it did look like a situational Orlando spot, but I stayed off of it. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We'll keep it moving. Just real quick thoughts on that one. Smokey says he just locked in the Magic +6. Julio says 1-800 is not minus 1800 is not free. Sometimes it's not, man. Justin says he put the Magic +6 in his pocket as well. We got some Paolo love, over his 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I like this one, man. I could definitely see Paolo having a big game. Maybe if you want to bet on Orlando, especially with them being so limited, you just look at Paolo over his 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'll write that one down. Giannis for Nayeli. She likes him to go up and over his points, rebound, and assists. Giannis had a triple-double yesterday. J-Work says, check your mic, bro. Y'all let me know if my mic sounds like it's messing up. If you joined late, J-Work, I did say that my mic was giving me some trouble this morning, so I'm just having to do the show without necessarily having the same audio sound that I typically have in the morning. I'll troubleshoot it after the show. The bookie says Bucks for him, Magic and over for Julio. What up, Lightbearer? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Captain Matumbo says he likes Paolo over his boards. GLB Bet says he parlayed OKC and Milwaukee's money line last night. I don't do that often, but you're right. Minus 800 definitely makes me question everything. I 100% agree. Fade bad spots for both teams. 210.5. I'll take the over. Why not? Kristen says. Gogo was seen in the shoot around this past week. Yeah, he played. He played. He just hasn't been ruled in yet, though. Justin says sound is fine. Julio says sound is fine. Maybe it's what you guys are listening to it on. Like, not. I'm not like taking a shot at you, Jay Work, but maybe it's something else. Because I feel like, I mean, I've been doing the show for a long time. I got guys that I trust in the comment section. They're gonna let me know if the audio sounds off. You know what I mean? Like, it's people that text me and say, Chris, watching the show, bro. Like fix this. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Let's keep going to the next game. We got the Atlanta Hawks and the Bulls. Another game. I have no interest in betting before knowing what's gonna happen in this one. So 2.5, 245. These numbers haven't moved a lot at all. The total has come down from 245.5 down to 244. So we see a little bit of under money come in overnight. Both teams, of course, on the second leg of back-to-backs. I have no idea what to do with this game, man. Atlanta, just played a very inspiring basketball. They've now beaten the Phoenix Suns in Atlanta. I think, 11 straight times, 12 straight times. Phoenix, for whatever reason, they just might as well not show up when they got a game in Atlanta. They continuously get smoked. Got dominated on the boards last night. And I said that there was an Atlanta spot yesterday. I couldn't lay the points. I couldn't take the points with them because it wasn't no Jalen Johnson. But they played very inspired basketball. Now you get them on the second leg of a back-to-back, having to travel from Atlanta to Chicago. And Chicago coming off a loss themselves, lost to the Pelicans last night, just couldn't make a shot. So I guess when Chicago, can't make a shot the night before, they probably make all the shots tonight. So super high total. I have no idea what to do with this game. I'm not going to waste your time. I will say a couple things that I had in my notes. Chicago's won 2 of the 3 matchups this season. Atlanta did win the last one. However, they ended up covering that spread as well. So you got second leg of back-to-back. But I will say this about Atlanta. They did have 4 days of rest before the game last night. Also, lots of travel. 6 straight road games for the Atlanta Hawks. They went home for 1 game, and now they're back on the road. Just 1-4 against the spread and 0-5 before last night's game as well in their last 5 games. So inspired basketball last night probably means that the Bulls, smoke them tonight. No idea what to do with the game. The Bulls, second leg of a back-to-back, no travel. This is their 4th straight home game, and they do got the Charlotte Hornets. So you got LaMelo and Lonzo on Friday when they come to town, but that's all I got. I will say this real quick. Let's go over the Outlier. I want to share this with you guys. Looking at, if somebody mentioned this in the Discord last night, I was already kind of thinking the same thing. It's our boy Trae Young. This is Outlier, just for people that are interested as well. Outlier is a handicapping tool that you guys can utilize to handicap player prop sides. You can also look at totals as well. It just gives you all the information that you might need. Trae Young will never get a better matchup than he has in this matchup specifically. On the screen right here, you guys can see Trae Young's assist. It's listed at 11.5. That's up here in the top left corner. You can see here, Atlanta Hawks allowing the second most assists. Chicago Bulls allowing the second most assists on the full season. Trae Young on the full season, like 11.5. He's only up and over 49%. Last 10 games, he's actually not even been cashing. Back-to-back games last night and against Phoenix. Back-to-back games against Phoenix, only 7 and 5 assists. However, you look at the head-to-head matchup. He's played Chicago 3 times this season, 16, 13, and 16 assists. The potentials, 23, 26, and 22. This is predicated on the fast pace. We know that the Phoenix Suns don't play as fast of a pace. The Bulls play super fast. They're actually number 1 in pace over the last 5 games. So looking at Trae Young to go up and over his assists, we have no idea if Jalen Johnson is going to play in this game. He missed the last game last night with a shoulder injury. There's injuries that could pop up on the injury report for both of these teams, which is why I haven't pulled the trigger on anything in this game specifically. But yeah, Trae Young's not going to get a better matchup. Second most assists allowed. The Bulls are 23rd in defensive rating. They allow the most points in the paint. We know Trae Young loves to throw lobs. So yeah, this is not a great defense for the Chicago Bulls. Until you bet on them to be a bad one, then all of a sudden they look like the greatest defense in the world last night. All right. So that's that. Trae Young assist is definitely something that intrigues me. Have not locked it in yet, but that's the way I'm looking in this game specifically. Let's go through a couple quick comments and we'll get over to the next game. Let's see. Yeah, I'm if Mark ain't put a bet in yet, not that Mark goes crazy, but if Mark ain't put a bet in yet, I kind of feel good about it. I appreciate you, Nayeli. Burns says, man, the audio is good. Not sure what other people are hearing. Appreciate you, bro. Uh, Mario, this ain't the energy we need, bro. Burns been around for a long time, long time. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. This not the energy we got on this show, man. You might be new. Burns been around for a really long time. Let's see. Dropping Dime says, as long as Chris doesn't bet the Bulls, they will score 200 points. That's a fact. It's a fact, man. I'm only laughing to keep from crying, man. I've lost a lot of money betting bowl games this season. It don't matter if I fade them, if I back them, if I take the over, if I take the under. It doesn't matter, man. It does not matter. Kobe White, I seen game this earlier this season. Kobe White hit 9 threes last night. He goes 1 for 8 from the 3-point line. It's bad, man. It's bad. Bulls for me, and Levine over his points, rebounds, and assists for Nayeli. What up, Blunt? He says 244 points is absolutely insane. Their coach needs to teach them that defense is a part of the game and not just offense. Now, wouldn't that be nice, man? That would be nice, but that's what we see. Fast pace, a lot of threes. Not messing with it, man. Not messing with it. What up, C-Ray? Appreciate you for tapping in. Taylor says Trae Young assists if Jared Jackson plays. He's over in 9 of his 13 games versus team ranked 20th or worse. And assists allowed, 22, 23, or 26 potential. Just talked about it in 3 games versus the Bulls. I like it. I like it. All right, let's keep it moving, man. Next game we got up is the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Bet this one. This is one of the ones that I did bet. So I want to pull up let me just get my spreadsheets pulled up real quick to these actual games because I didn't write down all my notes, but I like the spot here for the Grizzlies. I did bet the Grizzlies here. Line was actually coming down. I think it's still, you still can get what I got. I got 2.5, but let me just update my numbers. So let me get my stuff pulled up. All right. So Memphis and San Antonio. We have a Memphis team that's dominated the head-to-head matchup. That's the first thing I always like to look at. They'd actually won 9 straight games until they played at the end of last season. San Antonio finally got a win against them. We know Memphis was super depleted. They were without, a lot of star players last year. So I love that. I love that Memphis owns San Antonio. San Antonio, of course, is a lot better than they have been. Like, that's granted. Got to take that into consideration. But you got a Grizzlies team that's coming off a loss. 1 day's rest. Just lost to Houston. First leg. This is the first of a back-to-back series between the two teams. They do play again on Friday, San Antonio and Memphis. San Antonio just beat my Lakers by 24 points as a 3-point dog, stopping the 3-game losing streak for them. This is the first game back home after a 3-game road trip, and they've played a really, really cool fade spot in the NBA. Is fading teams just played 8 of their last 10 games on the road, and that's the situation here for the San Antonio Spurs. You got a Memphis team that's 11-3 straight up, 12-2 against the spread, coming off a loss this season. So typically Memphis is absolutely bet on. Including 6-2 straight up and 7-1 against the spread versus an opponent with a winning record. So I like to, not just look at those primary, like, okay, does Memphis bounce back off a loss, but how do they bounce back off a loss when they're playing against a good team? 6-2 straight up, 7-1 against the spread versus teams with a winning record. They're winning by an average of 10 points per game in that spot. So when I was looking into the numbers last night, if you've been watching the Memphis Grizzlies play, they've had a really difficult schedule as of late. They just played the Houston Rockets twice within their last 5 games. Lost both of those games. Played the Minnesota Timberwolves, another really good team out west. They did beat them in that spot. But strength of schedule, they have the second strongest strength of schedule over the last 5 games. Even with that, they're still 6th in scoring. Defensively, they struggled, and the other thing they've really struggled with is limiting their turnovers. The Memphis Grizzlies are 27th in protecting the basketball on the full season. Last 5 games, they're the worst team in the NBA. They're worse than the Utah Jazz at protecting the basketball. So I did go in. I listened to, to the coach. I listened to the players talk about ball security, trying to get a good shot, because it's crazy. When they take a shot, they typically make it. They are still the 5th best offense in the NBA, but they have problems protecting the basketball. Here's why I like Memphis. The San Antonio Spurs are actually 26th in turnover rate for their opponents' last 5 games. So San Antonio is not turning teams over. On the full season, they're 25th. So I do expect Memphis to be able to hold on to the basketball in this spot. I do expect Memphis to be able to knock down some shots from the outside. Like, they don't necessarily have the greatest matchup because they do love to attack the rim and score at points in the paint. And San Antonio got Victor Wembanyama down there who alters a lot of those shots. The San Antonio Spurs are actually really good at paint protection and rim protection. But I do think that Memphis should be able to get out and run in this spot on the full season. You got a Memphis team that's first in transition frequency, second in points scored via the transition bucket. And San Antonio has actually struggled, not just for the full season, but last 5 games, the Spurs are actually 23rd in opponent transition frequency and 21st in opponent transition points. So I think that Memphis should be able to score the basketball. I know San Antonio's defense has been pretty good as of late. They just held the Lakers to 102, but that's an old Laker team. This is a young, fast-paced, moving Memphis Grizzlies team. So I like all of those different things when I was looking into this matchup. I did bet Memphis minus 2.5 on BetMGM it was actually earlier this morning about midnight, and sent it out to the members. I like Memphis in this spot. I don't think it's necessarily going to be easy, but I do like them. And it opened at 2.5. It's up to 3.5. I see some back coming down, and that's when I jumped in. So those are my thought process on this game. That's the one bet that I do like a lot. Is I bet Memphis minus the 2.5. Think they get right after losing a couple games to the Houston Rockets. So Houston also a really good rebounding team. So that's my thought process on that one. What up, Jalen? Appreciate you for tapping in. Lingowick says Hawks love playing on Wednesdays for some reason. I'm not sure why, Craig. My hate for over-unders have been terrible, man. I cannot stand the over-under right now. Taylor says he likes Wemby to get 3 and 4 threes. Grizzlies allowing the 26 most three-point attempts and 26 most points to the above the break 3 versus teams ranked 15th or worse versus the above the break 3. He's over he's over 2.5 in 11 of his 14 games, averaging a little over 4.5, 5+ in 7 of his 14, plus 370 over on DraftKings for 5. So Wemby to get hot from the 3-point line. As long as they lose the game by 4, Taylor, I hope you cash it. I hope you cash it, my brother. GLB Best, we was talking about this yesterday, man. He likes the Grizz. I like the Grizz. Smokey Steam says, I'm going to take the Grizz first half here. Yeah, I could see first half. I wrote in my notes Grizz early, and I put a question mark. Didn't really jump into it. I know that the Spurs have been a really good team early in games. We've been talking about that, kind of backing them early. I think it could be a little bit of a flat spot in this game, coming back home after the 3-game road trip, though. But I didn't look too deeply into it. But I would lean with Memphis. Memphis is also one of the better first half teams as well. So you got 2 really good first half teams. Drop It Down says he likes Grizzlies early. Justin says he played the Grizz minus 3. I like it. D-Bookie says Spurs Wemby. Remember Ja dunking over him last year? He likes Wemby to go over his points. I feel like Wemby do be remembering stuff like that. I do feel like that. LJ says Grizzlies haven't been good versus division this year. They struggle on the road versus the West. I looked at all that, LJ. I actually got it pulled up right here. Grizzlies, just some ATS numbers. They are a much better ATS team than the Spurs. They're 26 and 14. San Antonio's just 20 and 18. On the road, Memphis is still profitable, 12 and 8. They're 60%. As a favorite, they're 17 and 9, 65%. Let's see. Versus the conference, they're 13 and 11. This is not is this the divisional game? It might be a divisional game. They're only 3 and 4 against the individual games, but coming off a loss is what did it for me, LJ. 12 and 2 against the number. Coming off a loss this season. San Antonio got some pretty good numbers as well. They're only 10 and 10 at home. 12 and 12 is a dog. I think they got equal rest against the conference. They're 16 and 14 against the division. They're 1 and 5. The San Antonio Spurs are. Yeah, I got all this set up in my spreadsheet as well, looking at all of those different things. But yeah, Memphis ATS numbers are stronger, even though they're not as strong in the division, like you said, LJ. Love says, thanks for making me feel good about my minus 2.5. Chris just locked it in this morning. Let's hope we cash it, man. Hope we cash it. LJ says, what about the over with Memphis off a loss? Yeah, Memphis defense is really kind of tailed off. I expect them to play a little bit more defense. Their defense is 24th last 5 games, LJ. So not looking towards unders for them right now. They're just playing so fast. And I think, let's see, real quick with San Antonio, Memphis is first in pace over the last 5 games, 102.3. San Antonio is actually playing a lot faster as well. They're 9th in pace. So I think the total is going up, and I would agree with the movement going up. 237 up to -39 now. So yeah, not looking towards unders at all. And like I said, the Grizzlies really been struggling defensively. But I think a lot of the points that they give up have been transition points. Houston was killing them the other day. I know you watched that game the other day. Houston was killing them getting transition buckets, and Jalen Green looked like Tracy McGrady the other day. Like I don't think San Antonio has anybody that's quite that explosive. I know Devin Vassell is really good. I know Castle plays really good, but I think Memphis is the right side. Julio says he's on Memphis. I agree with you. But cannot do more. Nayeli likes the Grizz -3 and Wemby and Chris Paul over their threes. Julio says he got the -2.5. Mark says he bet the 2.5 when I sent it out. Looking into the first half is also, yeah, I think I like first half too. Right? We'll talk about it a little bit more than this. I do like first half. Appreciate my guy GLB Best for signing back up. Let's see. Appreciate you, bro. Elvis Wade says top of the morning, please. Let's get paid. I'm going to wait and take the loser of the Grizzlies Spurs game. Never to talk to you up with because they do play Friday. I talked about that as well. Steven just bring the white suit out, bro. It's just a polo. It was just a polo shirt, man. That's all it was. All right, let's jump into the next one, man. I love the chat. I really do love you guys, like a lot more than you think. Doing the show brings a lot of excitement and joy to my life. I'm being completely honest. I love doing the show. All right, next game up, we got the Hornets and the Jazz. Another one I feel like I missed the best of the number of, man. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. If you're in the Discord, you know, he got the Hornets last night at -1. And it's not even 4 anymore. It's up to, what is it up to? It's up to 5.5 now. So, boy, that just left a really sour taste in my mouth. But the Hornets were actually a -1 last night. Boy. So, I'm not laying 5.5 points on the road, especially not in Utah where altitude can be a thing. But the Utah Jazz have ruled out Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Lloyd Marketing, Colin Sexton, Keontae George is listed as questionable. So this is their B-League team. Like, you're going to have Super Ball out there with Walker Kessler, Cody Martin, Keontae George, potentially, and Isaiah Collier. And Charlotte, you know, should be the right side. This is way too big of a number to label the Charlotte Hornets. So to put some numbers behind this, I talked about this yesterday on Cal's show. When the Trailblazers were laying points over the last 2 years, they were so they were favored in general. They were 1-7 against the spread, 1-7 straight up, and 2-6 against the spread and 1-7 straight up. So some teams you just don't lay points with, and the Hornets are one of those teams. So going back to last season, this was the thing that kept me off of it with the line moving so far. If you look at the Hornets as a matter of fact, I'll show you guys this real quick as well. I typically don't show you guys this, but I'll show you guys this. This is over on Give Me the Dog. So this is, let's see. All right. So this is the Hornets. Let me just zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. All right. So this is the Hornets as a favorite since the beginning of last season. So right here, where my face is kind of covering, this just says season is greater than or equal 2023, and the Hornets as a favorite. So they're 4-5 straight up, barely even win these games, and they're 1-8 against the spread. This is why I couldn't lay the points with the Hornets. This season, they've been a favorite 3 times, 0-3 against the spread. I don't want to get there with the Jazz, and you can see that the Jazz game is listed here. I don't want to get there with the Jazz because the Jazz are trash. And they also just came off a win. The Jazz don't want to win too many games, man. We know that they are thinking. I don't want to get there with the Jazz, but I can't lay this big of a number. And that's the handicap. That's really the handicap. That only thing I thought about when I thought about this game was I'm not laying a big number. So shout out to Jacob for getting that -1. I guess at this point I would be having to take points, but you know, Jazz just came off a win, and they're coming off an overtime win against the Brooklyn Nets the other day. So I couldn't quite get there, man. Maybe some LaMelo props. He should, you know, have a really good game against the backup unit for the Utah Jazz. To see him going up and over his points prop, maybe his 3-point prop, maybe his assist prop as well. But I stayed away from this one as well. This is the first meeting between the two teams. Utah's won 8 of the last 10. Both teams split and covered the spread last season. Charlotte only 1-9 straight up, 5-4, 5-4-1 against the number in their last 10. 82 to the under are the Hornets in their last 10. This is the second game of a 3-game road trip. And like I said, you got LaMelo versus Lonzo on Friday back in Chicago. Jazz 3-7 straight up. 7-3 against the number their last 10. We know that they can compete at home sometimes. They beat Brooklyn in overtime by 1 point on Sunday. So 2 days of rest for both these teams. We played the Pelicans on Friday. That's what I had in my list. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Lee says, I came from Jay Money Show and I've been watching them for about a week. I enjoy the content, making it part of my morning routine. Appreciate you, Lee. And shout out to my guy Jay, man. Shout out to Jay. Love Jay, man. One of my favorite handicappers in the whole wide world. I love Jay. Appreciate you for tapping in, Lee. LJ says he likes LaMelo assists. JB Best says, if you're not in the Discord, you're missing out. Yeah, man. A lot of people probably still missing out. JB Best. I like it. Appreciate every one of y'all in the Discord. DFX says Grizz off the loss, Spurs off the win. Give me the Memphis. That's right. Like Christian says Walker Kessler over his boards, running it till it stops making me money. Because it's off you off. This is the Hornets are a good rebounding team, though. I'll say that. They dominated the boards against the Phoenix Suns the other day. Mark Williams was eating. Big Bridges was eating. They got other guys like Bridges, and LaMelo is 6'9". I mean, not 6'9". He got the wingspan of like somebody that's 7 foot, but LaMelo got long arms and can grab boards as well. So, yeah, if you think the misses are going to be there, I can talk to you all. Lon says he's taking the Jazz on the money line. Justin says Jason out Charlotte +1 last night. Jesus, shout out to Jay, man. I missed it. That's the greatest number that you ever gonna get. Hornets probably will win this game. I agree with that. Don't like it where it is right now. GLB Best says he might play over. Let me know what you got on the over, GLB Best. Send it to me in the Discord, man. Nayeli says, I think the Hornets we get on track tonight. Nayeli, you must be from Charlotte. You had the Panthers the other day. You like the Hornets a lot. You must be from Charlotte. You got to be from North Carolina, some part of North Carolina. Mosey says he likes the Hornets. Jazz money line. Seen this script before, Jake says. Not with this roster, Jake. I think I understand what you're saying, but I don't know about this one, man. If you look at the Jazz off a win this season, let's see what they've done off a win. They're 2-7 off a win this season. They typically don't win back-to-back games. Can they cover? Yeah, I don't think they can do this one. Niley says, I like the Hornets. We get back tonight like the Suns we got last night. I'm taking the Jazz for 5.5. Okay. This is hard. Something to kill to swallow, taking the Jazz with their depleted roster. But, yeah, those guys are going to come out there and play hard. I can't do it, though. Couldn't quite get there. TZ says Bridges under 11.5 rebounds and assists. Brim says this Hornets shouldn't be winning games either. I want Cooper Flag in the city. You got to be from Charlotte too. Melo rebounds and assists over for Julio. Bridges over 17.5 points for Merrill. Too many injuries. Yeah, I'm right there with way too many injuries. North Carolina Rays. Hot TV Grit says, I got some people down there in North Carolina. South Carolina too, man. Yeah, my fault about the audio. Like I said, my mic isn't working today, so I'm having to use my AirPods specifically. I do apologize for that. I'll figure it out after the show, but I didn't have time to kind of troubleshoot it this morning. I restarted my computer, it didn't work, so I got to go in and troubleshoot it. It does this every now and then. My apologies for that. Nally says, I'm just a LaMelo fan. It's from Northern VA. What part of Northern VA, Nally? Check you out. From VA. I love the VA love and the VA connection. Northern Virginia, up there probably by Woodbridge. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game we got up Rockets Nuggets. I bet this one as well. I did, and I'm getting some negative PLV here. I did take the Houston Rockets last night on the money line. Glad I only went. I put a 0.7 units on it to win a half. Because the line was the odds was -140. It looks like Houston. This line is moving to a pick now. So it opened +1 in favor of the Rockets. It got bet all the way up, I think, to 2.5, and now this line has come all the way back down to. I mean, really, it's a pick. It's a pick now. You're just kind of picking the winner. The total has moved down just a tad bit. It's down to 231. Super simple cap here. I watched the Denver Nuggets absolutely dominate the Dallas Mavericks last night. It was the rebounding advantage that they had in that game last night. which in my opinion was the reason why they won. Now, granted, they got hot. They shot the ball really well overall, but they dominated the boys last night. I do not think that that's going to happen again against the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. Denver they are undefeated on the season on the second leg of a back-to-back. I do think that they're going to continue to bring it, but it's a terrible spot for the Denver Nuggets, man. A terrible, terrible spot. So real quick, rebounding numbers last night, they were a plus 21. They out-rebounded Dallas 51-30. I don't think that that's going to happen. So real quick, let me just go over to my spreadsheet, put these two teams in, and I'll tell you guys what I was looking at last night for why I took the Denver Nuggets. Why I took the Houston Rockets. My apologies. So Houston and Denver, and Denver. All right, so outside of it being a terrible, terrible spot, which I'll get into that first and foremost, we got, so first matchup of the season, Houston has won 4 of the last 5 games. They played Denver really, really tough, including 3 straight. The games that actually happened in Houston. They won in Denver as well, though, and they've covered all 3 spreads as well. So Houston, this is their first road game after beating the Memphis Grizzlies at home the other day. They've won 4 games in a row. They're in really good form. 1 day's rest and the first leg of the back-to-back. They got a game against Sacramento tomorrow in Sacramento. So Denver, like I said, terrible spot. This is second leg of back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th, and 7 and 11 nights. Also 6 game and 9 nights for the Denver Nuggets. This looks like a spot they should kind of run out of gas. I know that they've been balling. They've been absolutely hooping. But when I was looking into the trends this season, teams that are playing at 6 game and 9 nights that are also playing unrested. You can play 6 games and 9 nights and have 1 day rest. You can't play 5 and 7 nights and have 1 day rest. But 6 and 9, you can have 1 day of rest. But if you don't, they're 11, 19, and 1 against the number. That's only 36.7% against the spread. Says that you want to fade this team a lot more than you typically want to play on them. Also 17, 12, and 2 to the under. So that's about 59.6% as well. And then there's some matchup things that I like as well. We know that the Denver Nuggets, even though they've been playing, a little bit better, I guess you could say a little bit better defense, even though the last couple wins have come against the Dallas Mavericks, which, Kyrie first came back last night. He was not the Kyrie that, we all kind of expected there. Glavy also went down early as well. I think that, contributed to the rebounding discrepancy. So you got a Denver team that's beating the Dallas Mavericks a couple times in a row. I feel like they've been playing a little bit more of a cupcake schedule. They got a win in here against the Brooklyn Nets in their last few handful of games as well. The Houston Rockets are actually playing really good basketball right now. Their offense is really, this is one of the things that helped me get to the window with it. The offense has been playing a lot better. Last 5 games, this is actually the 9th best offense in the NBA. On the full season, they're averaging 113 points. Last 5 games, they're averaging 116. So the scoring has been a lot better. It's the offensive efficiency. They're the 2nd best offense. A lot of it is Jalen Green and Alfred Sengun. They've been absolutely hooping. The defense has taken a step back, though. I think that it correlates with their offense being better. They've been playing a lot faster as well. I see last 5 games they're 24th in pace, but I've been watching the Rockets play. It feels like they're playing a lot faster than 25th in pace. I love the addition and what Thompson is bringing in that starting lineup with Jabari Smith Jr. And like I said, the Rockets, #1 in offensive rating last 5 games, #1 in offensive rebounding rate. I think that's a big advantage here. The Denver Nuggets foul at a really high rate. They're 24th in free throw rate for their opponent. The Rockets get into the free throw line a lot. It's a very physical team. They're 8th in free throw over the free throw rate over the last 5 games. And I also think that they're going to be able to knock down. I think they're going to be able to score in the paint. There should be a lot of points in the paint for them here. The Denver Nuggets are really having a tough time protecting the rim as of late. Opponents are shooting the 4th highest percentage, 70.4% at the rim. We know that the Rockets, Sengun, likes to get downhill. They like to attack the rim. Not a great 3-point shooting team by the Rockets on the full season. They're actually the 3rd worst 3-point shooting team. Last 5 games, though, they're actually shooting the 3rd best percentage from the 3-point line. A lot of threes going up, and they're making a lot of them. So I like that. We also know that the Houston Rockets love to get out. They love to get out and run. on the full season, and 8th in transition frequency. Last 5 games, actually 3rd in points scored via the transition bucket. Denver, in the fatigue spot that I'm talking about, I do think it's going to give up a lot of transition buckets. Last night, they actually gave up some transition buckets. On the full season, they are second worst team in the NBA as far as giving up points in transition. And then on the last 5 games, they're actually 3rd worst. So this is not a great transition defense. I played the Houston Rockets last night. I know that the line's coming down. I know that the Denver Nuggets are absolutely amazing. I think that they are 7-0. The Nuggets are. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If the Denver Nuggets are playing the rest of this season, they are 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread. So maybe you don't fade them on the second leg of a back-to-back. I'm stepping in front of them here. I got the worst of the number, but I am on Houston to keep it. So those are my thoughts for this one. Let's see. Denver win margin 1-10. CJ says he thinks that they do get the win. LJ says he's gonna rock with his Rockets in the first quarter specifically. Denver at home, hard to fade. Andrew says I agree. I definitely agree. Denver at home this season, really hard to fade. And they are 12-7 straight up, 9-10 against the number so far this season. Back-to-back wins against the Celtics and the Nets. They had lost 2 games in a row at home versus the Spurs and the Celtics. The Celtics games were without Jokic, so yeah, they are hard to fade. I'm on the Rockets. I am on the Rockets. Springfield, okay. Shout out to my guy Jay. Springfield, I know where Springfield is. Appreciate you for tapping in, Nayeli. Let's see. Rockets going to lose. Sorry, 42 points from Jalen Green. Not happening. Okay, that's good. Rockets are my team. H-Town for life. Denver will win. They own us. Don't bet the Rockets video. Love. When people tell me don't do it. I already bet it. I bet the Rockets last night. And they don't own y'all, Julio. I just said that y'all won for the last 5 head-to-head matchups. I think Sengun gives Jokic a lot of trouble. And like I said, it's a spot play for me too. Outside of Houston being number 1 rated offense last 5 games. He'll be Betts is with me. Jerry says he takes trips to Springfield all the time. What's up, man? TJ says North Carolina stand up. Nayeli says the Nuggets as a team go stupid dummy crazy at home. We may see a few doubles tonight. I'm thinking we'll see how that goes. Blunt said 45 from Ray last night. Nobody else really had to play that well. He's going to be awful today, though. Everybody. I thought about this too, Blunt. Fading him in this spot tonight. He's probably going to end up drawing Dylan Brooks. The Canadian team rivalry, like all that good stuff. I'm interested to see how Jamal Murray plays against the Raptors. I definitely think big spot for Jamal Murray under on this point, but probably not going to double dip. I would agree with this look. Who's banging out with Jokic in the paint? I mean, they got Steven Adams. I mean, they got some of the biggest, strongest players in the NBA. Sengun is not the greatest, but I mean, they've had success. Like I said, go back and do your homework. Mosey, they won for the last 5 games. See if Jokic gets his numbers and nobody else cares. I'm not sure how it's happened, but they have had some success. Dylan Brooks points for Coyote pick. Jokic under his points. Okay. All right. Next game up, we got. What did I do here? I left it. The Nuggets wrapped up. We got the Heat in the Lakers. I'm not that. I'm not that football. I didn't even see if Bam was going to play in this game or not. He did miss the last game. Looks like he's listed as game time decision. Listed as questionable for this game. Jimmy Butler continues to be out. Whereas also on the injury report is a game time decision. The Lakers got a bunch of guys on the injury report as well. Like, don't bet Lakers. Man. Unless you want to fade them, then maybe you fade them, but eventually they're going to get it together too. So, I'm not betting Laker games. Like, that's just something that I'm not doing. I will tell you guys they were embarrassed the last time they played. The Lakers played in Miami. They got smoked. They absolutely got ran off the floor in that game. They lost 134-93 as a 3.5 point road dog in that spot. So they got all the motivation in the world. They've lost 3 straight games. They lost to Houston, lost to who did the Lakers lose after they lost to Houston? They lost to the Dallas Mavericks without Luka and Kyrie, and then they come home. They put up a pretty good effort in the first half against the San Antonio Spurs, but San Antonio proved to be too much for them. Lost the game by 22 points. He's just not betting on the Lakers anymore. I don't know if it's psychological or they just really are not that good at basketball. I also saw Dorian Finney-Smith was out for in this game. I want nothing to do with the Lakers. Man. Miami, like I said, they beat the Lakers 3 straight times, coming off the loss to the Clippers. Best of luck. It is the last game of the 6-game road trip, which typically a phase spot, but I'm not betting Lakers. I just hope you guys find some success in this stuff. I'm not touching it. Not touching it at all, man. Let's see. What are y'all saying about this one? Jared says we may be watching LeBron's last year really playing. He may stick around for Bryce, but this may be his last year. He's playing these type of minutes. Thinking Bron could potentially be done. D-Ray says, give me Bron double-double, and that's about it. Blunt says, if I had $2,000 free bet, I still wouldn't even bet the Lakers to win. OJ says, Anthony Davis up and over the boards. This makes a lot of sense because we know the Miami Heat give up a rebound. AD rebounds, I'm looking for that. Appreciate that look, LJ. Case the bags, prop games. Lakers win points at home? Nah. Steven says, give me Spoelstra. He rarely drops back-to-back games. I could agree with that. It's the line's moving. It's crazy though that the line keeps moving towards the Lakers. This line opened at 3. It's all the way up to 5 now, on some books. 5.5 is actually on stuff. I see right now. So the total's staying the same, but the line is moving towards the Lakers. And it did the same thing against the Spurs last game, and they got smoked in that one as well. Not just the Lakers game. They're not going to waste my time. Brian says, good morning. Chris late to the show, early bird. I can't bet my Lakers tonight. Forget how to play defense again. Yeah, 124 is nasty work to the Spurs who have been struggling for the basketball. Linguist says he's not scared. Best of luck, bro. I hope you catch. Natalie says she's on the Heat +3. I think it's going to be a minute until we get the Lakers back on track. If they do win, maybe a 1-10 win margin just for fan purposes. Taylor says he's going to under his point with slow-paced teams. He doesn't put up these type of numbers. Versus the 15 slow-paced teams, he's under in 12 to 16 games, averaging just 20.9. And he's two of his over games where he's out. AD out in another one. So looking at Bron to go under on his point top here, Taylor. I want to write that down, please. Bron under on his point. Okay. Mark says I'll hit it. If it hits 6 or better, I'll take Miami. Only way I would be able to look, man. I do think the Bam news is important. Miami, in all seriousness, they came out and got a double-digit lead against the Clippers in their last game. They still ended up losing by 11. They had a double-digit lead in that game. So yeah, they're gonna move the ball, be able to knock down the shot. But Bam is paramount in my opinion. He is paramount. All right, let's get into. Oh, you know what? I think I did skip it. Wolves in terms of the Wolves and Warriors. We the West. I don't think I made a reference to that. I did not. We'll talk about it really quickly. I did handicap it. I think I handicapped it. It's a simple handicap for me too. But yeah, we'll talk about that one. Nets and Clippers. This is the one. I really want to get there with another over for the Nets. I do think that they're going to play fast. I know that the Clippers defense is a lot better than Portland Trailblazers, but 2-12. If I got D'Lo and Cam and if I got those guys in, I kind of think this game goes over. I don't trust Brooklyn defensively. I just watched them give up a ton of points to the Portland Trailblazers last night. Clippers can get pretty fast-paced games as well. Not laying this big of a number with the Clippers, even though they do typically win and cover at the crib. They're 82 against the spread as a home favorite this season. They're winning by about 14 points. That's exactly what this line is. It's mostly 13.5 to 14.5. No idea, though. You got to wait on the injury report. No idea if all of those guys are going to play on the second leg of a back-to-back for the Brooklyn Nets. So super quick handicap from here. I'm not sure what Coach Fernandez is going to do in this game. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams. Brooklyn's second leg of a back-to-back, 3rd and 4. They had lost 5 straight games before last night. They'd actually failed to cover 4 of those last 5. But we know those. If you really watch the NBA, you know that those were without the guys. When they came out, absolutely lit the Portland Trailblazers on fire. I think they had 40 points in the first quarter last night. The offense is just going to look a lot better. It's going to look a whole lot better if they got the guys out there. The 3-point shooting is all they want to do, and they probably going to make them if they got better 3-point shooters out there. So I would be looking towards over with this total being a tad bit too low in my opinion. But like I said, I got to wait on this. Super quick handicap here. Not looking towards playing this game at all until I know what's happening. And I think that's the last game on the board. I did not make a graphic, like I said, for the Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. Let's see. Timberwolves and Warriors. Just really quickly. Timberwolves and Warriors. Give me a second. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. Timberwolves and Warriors. All right. So Timberwolves at the crib. Coming off a win against the Wizards. Let's see. All right. Timberwolves, Warriors. We got Warriors. Wolves. Line is sitting at 5, I think it was. And no, it's actually at 6 now. Open 5.5, so it's actually at 6. It's at 5 when I looked at it this morning. The total has a move up to 15. All right, so Golden State just burned my money the other day against the Toronto Raptors. They have they could potentially get Draymond back. He's listed as questionable. Didn't play in the last game. It was an illness. It was also like I think a back something. Draymond got a lot of stuff going on in the field. He can do he can podcast, but he can't go out there and play basketball. Gary Payton II has been upgraded to questionable in this, to probable in this game. So getting him back should help the defense. Probably hurt the offense. Chris Jackson Davis, the offense, all listed as questionable for this one. As much as I want to fade the Warriors, and I feel like they continue to be a fade, they don't have Kuminga, they don't have Porzingis. The Timberwolves are in a double revenge spot. They've actually lost to the Golden State Warriors twice in a row, and they're playing a lot better basketball, in my opinion. I put in my notes that Golden State has won back-to-back meetings against the Timberwolves after Minnesota beat them in the first game that was in Golden State earlier this season. None of those games actually reached 220. So look towards the under. Golden State's offense is terrible as of late. This is the last 4-game road trip for them. Back-to-back losses and non-coverage against the Toronto Raptors and the Indiana Pacers after beating the Detroit Pistons. They just 1-4 straight up against the spread in their last 5 games. Only 3-7. I tried to go to the Warriors in their last 10 games. They're also 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. 4 straight under for the Golden State Warriors. And then the Timberwolves, like I said, much better form. Coming off one day's rest, they tripped back from DC. They played the Knicks in the Garden on Friday, though. And they played 10 straight games in a different arena. One of the things I didn't like for the Timberwolves here. Just really quickly, I want to look at strength of schedule stuff really quickly. If Draymond plays, I kind of feel like then you get a better number. I'm only looking towards the Timberwolves. I think they are a much better team. With the schedule wise, Golden State's 18th last 5 games. The Timberwolves are 26th in strength of schedule. The Timberwolves are 4th in defensive efficiency. Golden State is terrible offensively, so maybe a Golden State team total under. Both teams not playing with pace. Golden State 20th in pace last 5 games. Timberwolves 18th in pace. Yeah, I think it's the Minnesota spot. I do think it's a Minnesota spot. The problem with the Timberwolves when they're laying not even laying big numbers, is that they win, but they find ways to not cover. As a home favorite this season, the Timberwolves are 4-13 against the Spurs. They're winning by average of 2 points. They failed to cover 5 straight games as a home favorite. Didn't cover against the Knicks, lost that game. Didn't cover against the Warriors, lost that game outright. Didn't cover against the Spurs, won that game by 2. Didn't cover against the Clippers, won that game by 2, and then just lost to the Grizzlies in their last game as a home favorite. So yeah, they've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde. They have been playing a little bit better since Dante DiVincenzo has been added to the to the starting lineup and having that solid come off the bench. Golden State's gonna be fired up though, coming off that loss against the back-to-back losses against the Pacers and the Raptors. But yeah, it's Timberwolves and nothing for me. I'm not looking to face the back to Warriors. Not looking back. Let's see if you guys have thoughts on this last. Vincent is probably not playing on the second leg of the back-to-back. He says if he is playing, give him the Clippers. Natalie says, I love the Nets as a team, but when they're all playing up, it's easy. That's a fact. If you know, you know. Appreciate you, young OG. Easy says, look at the Warriors. D-Lo point on Friday versus the Lakers in a revenge spot. Or is it cinch? Something. We may sit this game just so he can play against the Lakers in the next game. To be honest. Especially would have been the second leg of the back-to-back. Let's see. Zubac over his board. You believe in revenge games. This is the Wolves spot. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. It feels like a Wolves spot, but like I said, you would want the Warriors to be coming off the win. The Warriors have been so lackluster, man. So lackluster. I'll fix the audio. AOD. Appreciate you for tapping in, Justin. Quick recap, man. I got to get up off here. Quick recap. I bet Houston on the money line. Well, you can get Houston on the money line minus 110. You probably could get a better number than that. When I was looking at it this morning before I made these graphs, before I did the show, you get minus 1. You actually get a minus 105 now over on bet 365 right now. And I always encourage people to bet on bet 365 if you have access to it in your state. Just because they don't start for you enough. You get the early cash out. If the team goes up by 20 points, you automatically get the win. It doesn't even matter if that team comes back. So something to take into consideration. Memphis minus the 2. I bet it. My only 2 plays on the board for today. At Toronto and Boston, I do lean under 230. I do think Boston bounces back in a really good offensive way. So Boston first half minus the 8.5. Like I said, the Toronto Raptors are one of the worst 3-point defenses in the league. This is exactly what Boston needed. This is exactly what they need. A really bad 3-point defense with them being the worst 3-point team over the last 5 games. And Josh Hart over. Well, I'm not even going to add Josh Hart. I do like Josh Hart, but I'm going to wait on the injury for the game. Over on his rebounds and assists, he's been cash. The Trae Young assist, I went through that one using Outlier. Over 11.5. We'll see if Jalen Johnson gets pulled in on the second leg of a back-to-back. But Trae, I think I like a little bit more than anything else. I'll look into AD over his rebounds, like LJ said as well. I think that's a pretty good look. And there's a couple other things I got on the short list. But 2 official plays are in green. Best of luck on whatever you guys are playing today. I wish you guys nothing but the best, man. Best of luck on all your action. Resources, as always, are here. Referral links are in the description of the video. My apologies for the audio. I'll get it fixed. It'll be a lot better for tomorrow's show. But I appreciate you guys, as always, for tapping in, man. Check the resources out. I was thinking about this before. Last thing I'll say, I may even do an evening show. Just because the injury report is so scattered with everything, I was thinking about doing an evening show. We'll see if I actually end up pulling the trigger on that. But yeah, we'll see about it. Best of luck on all your action, man. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.